This is a story about life, about struggle, about success. Not just mine, but yours too. Because whether you see it now or not, we're all trading something every single day. Time, energy, choices. That's life. That's trading. I wasn't always here. I wasn't always the guy you see on your screen. I started out just like most people, uncertain, broke, doubting the system, doubting myself. But one thing kept me going, the belief that life's biggest opportunities aren't given, they're taken, and I took mine. See, trading isn't just about charts, candles, or currencies. It's about discipline, patience, and the courage to bet on yourself. It's about understanding that every loss is a lesson and every win is a stepping stone. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and that voice in your head telling you to keep going when the rest of the world says stop. But let me tell you something. This journey didn't start with success. It started with failure. More failures than I can count. I remember sitting in front of my screen, watching the markets eat me alive, thinking maybe this isn't for me. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about the markets. It was about me. My mindset, my choices, my willingness to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The truth is, trading is a mirror. It shows you who you really are. It forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your limits. But it also shows you your potential if you're brave enough to see it. I'm here now because I refuse to quit, because I learned to see every loss as a stepping stone, every setback as a setup for a comeback. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Success isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. This isn't just a stream. This is a movement. A space where we don't just talk about markets. We talk about life, about growth, about becoming the best version of yourself, not just as a trader, but as a person. Because the truth is, the charts don't care about you, but this community does. I do. And together, we're gonna rise. So, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and get ready. This is where traders are made. This is where dreams are built. And this is where your story begins. Let's get it.
All right, and with that, our New York session has begun. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing? We are live. We are back. And we might have positions. No, we might not. How's everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, that was an ugly closure. I was really hoping to have some sells right as we open up. You know how lovely that would be. But not with that closure. Worldwide wicks. That's right. Wow, what is this? Gold's been doing this fuckery. It doesn't know up or down just like we don't. It's been doing this for the last, well, since the inauguration. It decided to take the news into the rest of the trading. This is what the news used to look like. Now this is just a regular day. It's just a regular hour candle. Took sells from the top of this? Yeah, probably the flip. You could have played to the bottom of the body of the previous candle. How many pips is that? 40. That's 50 pips right there. That's your trade right here. This was your trade from here to here. That was your trade. Ciao. Good job. I didn't want to be in there. That 4-hour flip was there. But now that you've driven down like this after that rejection up, I mean, it's highly likely you're going down to the next support, right? Not to flip again and re-break the highs. Well, not in this candle at least. So we need some range to be created here. We have a bottom wick. We just need some closures below here. All right. These levels are from last night. Yeah, let's remove everything. Daily close bullish coming up, retesting these highs. Did we break this? Yes, we did. 4-hour coming back down. 2-hour just open. 1-hour level. So we reflipped. All right, so that's our range. We're stuck in this 130 pip range. There's more room to come down here. Our market's gonna really have to dip. I believe it will. That's what we're gonna see. Just trying to see if we can take advantage of it before the flip. I mean, before the break of the lows. Maybe a 15 closure would give us this bottom wick, top wick on the next 15. Or will it come down now? Let's grab the orders. 25 minutes to go here. Chances of it driving right back up here are very slim. Chat, I'm gonna take a sell right here. So just took a sell right where we are. Look for this to retest the lows here and fill the range. Okay, I'm gonna close. No, not yet. I'm gonna close full right there for 25 pips. So just closed full at 25 pips. I'm gonna wait for this to drive down now and see if we can get some closures. So my advantage point was really just, like I said, just to see if we can fill the range here to the bottom, and if we break through it, we'll take this on the next hourly. So congratulations, guys. 25 pips to start off the day. Quick W, early morning. Now this is key here. This level has held numerous times. That's why I closed here, because there's a chance we reject, and this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a reaction, not necessarily a rejection yet, right? Just a reaction. This is what we expected right at the bottom of this range. That's why we closed, and that's why we let it actually do its thing and break, because we have no guarantee whether this will break or not. But once it does, then we can hop on again, right? But we've eaten this piece. We have eaten this piece of the puzzle. It's not there anymore. All right. So congratulations. Now we're going to wait for this to break. And now we're going to hop in once it does break, and we'll have more top wick entries once there's some volume to bring this down. We'll close outside the range. Okay. All right. But first trade here, first trade of the day, 25 pips. The 30 closed no bottom wick, but this 15's created that top wick, and if you look at the higher time frame, there's no reason for it to stop here all of a sudden after coming up, rejecting off the 4-hour level there. It just doesn't make sense for now to start coming back up. It's going to need bottom wicks off of support, so at least 2760 in my head was a given, right? So that's why I hopped in there. We might have had a bit of a late entry right down here, but it's okay because there was enough range. It was 30 pips down. We got 26. So yeah, no drawdown, straight to profits, 25 pips. Just look at Roger Banks' stream, and he took the same. First of all, I didn't even know he streams. Second of all, he's probably in my Signal channel. RogerBanks.com, baby. Oh, man. Get off my stream, bruh. All right, let's update the record. Win number 82 in a row. Damn, we're edging 400 here. Edging 400. Have we had any New York streamers reach the 400 plateau? Yeah, we've kind of been piling on these wins. When did we start paying attention? We locked in at around like 65, right? We were like, holy shit, we're at like over 60 wins, right? We started really paying attention to the streak at like when it was over 60. We didn't even realize the streak was that much. I didn't. I had no clue we were at over like, I just knew we went undefeated in December, so I knew it was a lot. What a lovely closure by us here too. This is good. Look at the hourly. This is going to leave us some room. You could start mapping out in about 10 minutes. We could start mapping out the hourly. Are we in yet, guys? Please. We're already out. In and out. Like she worked in a red light district and you only paid for an hour. This man wins too much. Green. My green. Is that gold futures? Ding, 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 ding. Bravo. Good job. That is gold futures. You figured it out. Any people at the door? Nope, nobody at the door. Yeah, it looks like we missed nothing. About 25 minutes late to here, and we missed nothing. I think it was the speech. The speech was really responsible for that W. One whole year without losses, Wix, what you telling me? I don't know about no 1 whole year. We've gone 3 months without losses in Asian session, but that's Asian session. There's less volume. We had less trades. We had about, in 3 months, we had half the trades, and we went undefeated for 3 months last year. If you were on, would you have taken a sell New York Open? No. I was looking at it. I was actually on. I was in front of the computer, and if it set up, I was going to start the stream. But it didn't. It was like this. I had 2 kids dressed, ready to go with their book bags on, standing here, and it was 7:59, and I was sitting here, and I was like, we're either going to start the stream early, and the kids are going to be late to school if it sets up, or I'm going to go take them. And it didn't set up, so I went to take them to school and came back, and then it set up. Are Asian trades called if you're in the monthly group? If you're in the signal channel, yeah. Like, I was looking for trades yesterday for Asian, just nothing happened. I didn't see anything. I've been looking for trades for Asian for every single day this week. Point 3 lots, 75 pips. Yeah, I mean, nothing. It's just experience for yourself. You couldn't see anything in Asia? No, I didn't see anything that's set up the way I like it to. Shit, it's been days where it's moved 400 pips and it never set up the way I needed to, right? Just because it's gonna move hundreds of pips doesn't mean I'm gonna be in it. I'm gonna be in it the way I prefer. This is interesting. We already rejected this area. This candle needs a bottom wick. And that might be it, because if it's going to keep structure, it wouldn't break this high, right? And this is the resistance here that it's tapping, so it could probably come down off this. This is just not enough of an advantage point. Ooh, that's already 10 pips. Really? Yeah, honestly, at this point, I would prefer that it breaks down and breaks all the lows here on this candle, and then we could hop on in the next hour instead of hopping on right now, because it could have a small bottom wick and just come up. This wasn't enough of an advantage point. So this is good. It's got 15 minutes. As it starts breaking down here, we'll start mapping out sells, top wick sells for the next hour. When it breaks lows, no, I'm gonna have nothing here. Not until it, or if it can break the low, push down to here, maybe to the bottom of the range to 54. If it can push through these 60 pips. Will we break the lows, chat? That is the question. Will it break the lows? Why don't we wait for range 2 breakout? We technically have a range 2 breakout. Well, not on the higher time frame, not yet. Yeah, higher time frame would be below here, unless it forms a support here right now, which it's doing. You remember I just said this could be a small bottom wick. That's why we're not in here. It can just, there wasn't enough range off a top wick to say, all right, even if with a small bottom wick, this will be good for us, right? Small bottom wick and right back up. So we want to avoid these type of situations. This motherfucker's gonna range now. It could. It drove to a support with one heavy candle, and now it's so. But if it ranges, it's gonna range on a smaller time frame, not on a higher time frame. There's no range created on the higher time frame, right? I mean, it's in a range still, but this drive down didn't create a range on a higher time frame. It's pushing. It's below the most recent. I would expect the next candle to have a bottom wick, right? Whether it's a drive down or a bottom wick to come up, I would expect the next candle to have a bottom wick. And if that's the case and we're coming up right now, right, where can we get top wicks off of? A lot of time left. It's 11 minutes in this candle, right? This candle can still break all the lows. It could push up heavy. We don't know. So, gotta wait. So when do you want to break into another range to take entries, or when do you want to take support resistance? It's situational. Ideally, you want to entry at a support or a resistance if you're trading with structure before you create a range. Okay? So if you get rid of this, right? You can have buys here at a support. You can have buys at a support before you create the range. But once this range is created, I don't take these at support, right? And resistance. I wait to break out of the range. I mean, you can take it however you want. I'm just telling you what I do, right? I take the initial the creation of the range. Once the range is created, I try not to be in it. I try to wait for the price to leave it. Yeah, it's good news, Sam. And it's only happening because of Papa T. Biden could never, ever. Like sometimes we are to support rejecting, but you take the wick entries and sometimes you avoid that weight, the range to break, or like right here, like we just had, because we know where the higher time frame support is. We understand that if we are to turn around the other way, we're going to have to fill the range. So we had room to fill the range. We have volume, we have momentum. We're driving off a higher time frame resistance, right? We're breaking the lows of the support formed here, right? So where else do we have to go? We were headed this way right here. And if we understand we're headed that way, can we just cash that little piece? That's what we did. I've discussed it before. You don't see it's very rare you'll see me here through the drive, right? In the position. It's a lot of the times I've confirmed the drive, so I understand where we need to go, or I understand we're beginning a drive now. So right, so those are my trades usually. It's not usually this part right here. That's not. This part right here usually tells me to lock in, not not my trade already. Now, if we close like this, it gets a bit more difficult. Well, we'll see. We'll see the body of this bullish candle, but what does spot gold look like? It's got a bearish 4 hour. So in 7 minutes, spot gold's going to close with a bearish 4 hour if it stays like this. Still in a range. It's created the shampoo pattern here, right? So you still have your shoulder. Bald ass head. Another shoulder here. Right. So you have your shampoo over here, right? So the next candle can make that top where it can continue down, but you're printing side by side, and right now you're holding support, the most recent one, and resistance for now. So no bueno. Happy to see the streak still at 82 straight wins, Focus. Oh, if you told me one day I'm going to win 80 straight trades, I would have said you're trying to gas me up. We can't even be friends. You're trying to mislead me. We won 82 straight trades on stream here. Capiche? What the hell is gay peas? All right, Tom. Stop it. Yep, just let him in. Thank you, Jay. What's your overall streak right now? Like counting signals? I don't know. Where are we at in the signals? We might be at even more than 86 in the signal. I don't know. I think we've had some Asian W's throughout the last 2 months that aren't part of this streak. But if we do the signals also, yeah, the last loss, whether it's for both signals or stream, was November 27. So in signals, yeah, we might be pushing close to 100 straight wins in signals. Update trade taken section? I did. Those buys for 25 are from today. It's from 30 minutes ago. Fucking massive W. Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you give a fuck, but there's some bearish divergence on the 15-minute.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
You really suck on 26.6. Yeah, I'm really stuck. doing ma'am? No. No, ma'am. And let's get off spot gold here. Let's get back to our GC1 here. That guy's leaving the stream for sure. And that's how we stay at 26.6K subs. And that's how we stay at 26.6K. Yo, drop some likes if you caught that first trade with us. And sub to the channel if you're making Buka Books, showing up here every day. People at the Zoom door? Gotcha. Yeah, make sure your notifications are on so you know when I'm streaming, because, or so you, if you forget that I'm live every single day at 8 a.m., turn your notifications on. I got you. Knock, knock. Come on in. Because YouTube don't want to be recommending people. This 4-hour will close doji. Yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be tough to take trades off the opening. There's 90 seconds here for the 4-hour. The way we're printing right now, it's I can say there's gonna be more waiting involved. There's no trade. We close like this. There's no trade on the next candle. We got a minute to go. Later, SL. Oh, you're doing the JOB funding challenge right now. Nice, nice. SL got this dope ass funding company, JOB funding. Just taking full advantage of it. Don't know if you give a fuck, but it would be a good promotion to grant your audience one Zoom experience a week. Think about it. It would get crazy in the Zoom. It would get really crazy. No, the guys in the Zoom, they paid for it. And then they're going to feel like, why the fuck did they pay for it if others can get it for free? No. And most people in the Zoom, that's the people that show up every day. That's the loyal ones, right? People that really want to help themselves, they show up on Sundays, right? We do a nice Sunday Asian session, private session. It's very, very intimate. Do a little candlelight. Sounds romantic. You gotta experience it for yourself. Could you explain why Department of Government Efficiency candles make it difficult? I don't know. Doji candles don't make it difficult to trade, but we don't have a doji candle. We got a bearish candle here, but doji candles don't make it difficult to trade. It's just they add no new info. And well, the smaller time frame in a doji candle does give you data, and the way it printed the doji candle matters. But in general, when I see a doji candle, I just block it out because right, price opened and closed in the same spot, so that candle had no effect on price. So I tend to, when I see doji candles, I just approach them like yeah. So if this candle closed doji, this is what it would be to me. It would be like it didn't exist. this is how I'd be looking at the market. If we got a doji close. JJ from USA by way of Spain. Oh, wherever he is, Portugal. I don't know. Where you at, Jay? You're in Portugal? Or in Spain? I don't remember. What made you make the little audio at the start of the stream? I don't know. I thought it would be a good idea to hype people up before the stream. Right? Do a little speech. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. You know what I mean? And then, oh, you're in Portugal, yeah. So yeah, I thought it was a really good idea. And that night, I was watching the movie Belly. And the movie Belly begins with him talking, right? And I remember it would just hype me up like crazy. I was watching Belly. I was like, yo, this is how the beginning to the stream needs to be like. This is how the stream needs to start. So it was just me thinking intro would hype people up, and then I saw the movie Belly, and I was like that. Bang, that's what I need. Yeah, if you guys won the giveaway, I'm sorry I didn't do it yet. Don't look for your emails today. I didn't submit your names yet. I'll do it today after stream. I had a crazy day yesterday. We went to the, I told you, when I was going to the dentist with my kids, and we ended up being there for like 3 extra hours, and then we had to come back there to get her retainers refitted. And so she took her braces off yesterday after years of wearing them, and then we had to come back for retainers and then come back again. So but I did overdo it on Wingstop yesterday. If you go to Wingstop, do not get the atomic flavor. It's just not worth it. Don't get the atomic wings. It's what was the name of the dentist? Actually, he's like on social media too. He's like, he posts and shit, and he took a big video of it, and I don't know, I'm not giving him out. Is it not good or too spicy? Yeah, it was here's the thing. It was so spicy that you ever been to Wingstop? They don't do the ketchup packets. They do ketchup, like it's a packet and a little bowl. It's like the expensive Heinz, like a little dip cup in a packet. And I was just drinking it. I was like, give me that ketchup, because I couldn't. I got iced tea. Then I was like, fuck the tea. I just got the ice. And then I was like, all right, fuck this ice. I just need some ketchup. It's still spicy. I sat there for 10 minutes. I was like, fuck, this is still spicy. My daughter was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. This is delicious. I was like, yo, chill out. I can't even. Y'all got sour cream? And they got super hype, by the way. It's the... Okay, so to enter, you have to comment on a reel in order to get entered for it, for the giveaway. Oh, hold on a second, chat. Yeah. So in the future, it's probably not gonna be. It's not gonna be a specific reel to comment on. It's just gonna be a randomly chosen one. Right? This way, you guys just. I'm gonna choose a random reel that I posted throughout the week, and this way, you guys don't know which one you need to comment on. Maybe it'll promote some interaction on other reels as well. Yeah, all heat, no flavor is not fun. I like the flavor ones are good, right? Like the mango habanero, the Cajun, those are all good. Like it's the one that's just spice, no flavor that messes you up. So yeah, I'll be doing on Fridays. What I will be doing, I'll be looking at probably starting next Friday, not this week. It's a short week. Just comment on whatever I post throughout the week, and then we'll randomly select a reel. It'll be like this. We'll do how about not even randomly? We'll do a poll on Friday. From which day do you guys want me to use the reel? And then whatever wins in the poll here, that's the reel we're gonna use for entries. Just add some extra steps. All right, and that's how we'll choose which reel, and then from that reel we'll do a giveaway. So Friday giveaways are 2 25K accounts, and on Sundays to the private gang, everyone in the Signal channel only. You guys get a giveaway on Sunday. Had the mango habanero one time. Where's Bathroom? No, mango was good. Hawaiian was good. Cajun was good. We have, what other flavors do we have? We had lemon pepper. Lemon pepper was, I think, the best. Because they're not soaked in it. It's like half juice, half rub, I guess. Not juice, but like, you know what I mean. Yeah, the dry rub is where it's at. Was it not? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a sell at the beginning of the stream. I'm bugging. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Because that buys was from yesterday, so I just deleted the pips from yesterday and put the pips from today. Yeah, that was sells. Had a dry rub before the session. Estúpido! Hey Wix, I sent you a DM with the info account Sunday, still waiting for you to accept. Yeah, I think I got it. I just need to do it. I just actually need to do it. They had a barbecue one, which I didn't try yesterday. Try rubbing it. You wild people. Bro, if you're dry rubbing it, your shit look like a grilled, shriveled up pepper. Stop dry rubbing it. This gold man annoying. I just want to trade and bounce. You should have been here earlier. Early bird got the worm today. What's spot gold doing? Yeah, same shit, different toilet seat. This flips though. You'd expect it to. It's not a leg candle here on the 30, right? This is a strong closure here, so it's not really a leg candle. Stronger than the wick. Having some trouble reconnecting my Discord to WAP, and I've been trying all morning. Reach out to the WAP guys. I think they should walk you through it. They're very quick with it usually. How to do it. So the 15's closing here. 30 seconds. Gonna be a bearish closure. 20 seconds. How bearish will we be? When candle close, no bottom wick, are you waiting for a candle to create that wick in the next candle and then pull up, anticipating the fill of the lows we just created? Yes, but not in this case, not in this candle just yet. We can still flip. We're respecting most recent lows, so I need more candles to print. So this 15 is a no-go. Maybe the next 15, which will also be 9:30 and NYSE open, right? And if that's the case, just close your trade. Oh, you were in a trade, not me. Your trade. You just closed your trade. Yeah, this candle, not really a top wick or a bottom wick. Printing side by side. Closed, respecting most recent. Need more candles. 80 should hold stronger. Well, you don't focus on that. Focus on did it or did it not. Let it do it, and then you don't have to say should, could. You either did it or didn't, and make your decision then. You're selling now? All right, well, you're ahead. I don't know how far you're ahead here, maybe like 60-40, but you're ahead on a sell here. Right? But you just don't want this to be the bottom wick for the hourly and the 4 hour, right? Look at the hourly. This could be the bottom wick. Look at the 30. Could be the bottom. If this flips, this is running up to the top. But the 15 did close bearish, right? So the only thing for me is different time frames are telling different stories, and we have side-by-side closures. The only things. Those are pretty, heavy indicators or variables when it comes to my equation, right? Yeah, I'm gonna step outside, take a couple of pulls. It's colder than a witch's titty outside. That's why. So I gotta put on these fucking layers. It's okay. I'm bringing my trusty phone with me. It's all right. We got some time. We got 10 minutes. What? Sorry, we got 13 minutes for this closure. Wow, it's fucking brick city out here. I don't even know how it got that cold. My lighter's down the other side of the pool. What the fuck? Where's my weed? Somewhere in this backyard is a fat Jamaican joint just rolling around. Yo. If I was a blown away joint, where would I be? And the thing is, the tile here is like joint colored, so it's not like, wow, this is grimy. I don't see my joint nowhere. It wasn't even that windy. Like, what the fuck? Just rolled this bitch. It's one of those times you got to put your eye to the ground and look, look along the flat surface just to see if anything comes up off the floor. Oh, if you guys saw what I was doing right now, you guys be like, what the fuck, bro? Go roll another joint. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nah, that's some fucked up shit. Really, bro? Being mistreated by my own weed. No, it's not behind the ear. Yeah, I left it right here. I left it outside right on my grill, and I put my lighter on top of it so it doesn't get blown away, and I just walked out. Lighter's on the floor under the grill, no joint in sight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that intro. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be this. You don't have to be perfect. And don't leave your fucking weed outside when it's windy. I'm just gonna ad-lib that in. That is grimy, yo. I'd be alright if that shit was in the pool somewhere, but I just can't find it. Yo, I just spent all this time outside. I didn't find it. Know what that means? I always misplace things. Yeah, I live in a zoo. What do you want? It's snowing. It's not snowing, but it's might as well be. It's fucking brick outside. I wish it was snowing. Ugly range, shall we break out New York volume? NYC Open's coming right up, so yeah, you don't want to be in positions printing side by side, guessing up or down. Let the market give you an indication of volume and direction. And the way we recognize those things will be closures outside the range. Snipe the shit out of that 1 minute long. That's what we do here. We're training a whole new generation of snipers. They used to call you guys cowboys back in the day. Now you guys are snipers. Haha. Yeah, I had to roll this one. I ran out of cones. Couldn't use the trusty grinder here. Books, I never understand how it works, that giveaway. Can you talk? Didn't I just discuss it like 5 minutes ago, how it works? You got to comment on my Instagram reels. Anytime you see me post an Instagram reel, you have to comment on it. And then on Fridays, we do the giveaway. We choose the reel, and then we'll randomly select a comment from that reel. Very, very simple. How's the snow? I didn't get any snow where I'm at. I'm like another 9 hours away from snow. It snowed in like at the Panhandle. All right, 3 minutes here. I know how this is gonna work. I'm just gonna I'm gonna be sitting here like on a random weekend, and I'm gonna see my joint somewhere tucked away in like the corner of the grass, just peeking out, all moldy and shit. I'm still smoking that bitch. I don't know what the fuck y'all thinking. I don't give a shit. Get extra high with that mold. I'm still smoking that bitch. Ain't been here in a while. Welcome back, Master Swell. We're gonna do a little pump. We're gonna do a little bicep pump when I get back to the screen for you. Getting swell. Yeah, it snowed in North Florida. It didn't get down here. But like North Florida, that's like by the Panhandle. That's like almost where New Orleans is. It snows, right? It snows in Louisiana. You get snow in Georgia sometimes. I'd be happy playing in your backyard. Hell yeah. Just weed flying around randomly in the grass. Excuse me, gang. That's that THC. Alright, part 2. Just did the same shit. Let's see if this joint gets blown away. So boring when it ranged like this? It's not boring. This is experience. This is you practicing and building good habits, right? Winning habits for the future. Wix, I don't understand how you up 60K off a 50K account. I'm not. I'm up to 60. Well, I'm up to almost 70K from a 50K account. And it's not a funded account. It's a live account. Real bad man. We'll probably range all day. I don't know if we'll range all day. We might not drive for the day, but like I doubt we'll stay at this price level all day, right? Price might pop into the next range and fill the next range and come back in here and range here, right? But won't just stick around. It'll pop out of a range, and if it's going to range, it'll go back into the range and drive and stay there. But holding this same price point throughout the entire New York session, it's unlikely. Is it possible? Anything's possible. It's just unlikely. Futures doesn't do lots, it does units. No, it does contracts. Contract size. What made you switch from Forex to futures? Lack of options. My previous Forex broker. The United States government. The Dodd-Frank Act. The law. Yeah, my Forex broker stopped accepting US customers. Door? Gotcha. So how many times are we going to hit this level before we break it? It's bound to be broken at some point, right? More often you hit it, the likelier it is to break. Yeah, everything's dynamic. My risk can range from like 3 to 10%. It's dynamic, so the risk updates throughout the trade, right? You can start the trade with the 90% likelihood that you will have no risk on the table within 5 minutes, but a 50% likelihood of the trade actually playing out. You understand? So there's probabilities to risk and there's probabilities to the actual trade, right? And that's another thing to look at. How soon will you have no risk on the table, or can you lower your risk in this trade? 90% likely, right? You're gonna have less risk in a trade, but then there's trades that are, yeah, you can manage risk fairly quickly, even though the probability of the trade playing out isn't as high as a trade where you would manage risk later on. It's all situational. It's all very dynamic. It's never static. Just like the market, it's never static. Yeah, spot gold doing the same thing here. It's also coming down. Might see a pop. I'm gonna break it at lows. It's just something that would make sense once it breaks the lows. A pop, but we're not obligated to break the low. I want to see if we can come up and tap this area here. 8 minutes to go for the hourly candle. Yeah, chat. I'm going to take a sell right here, right where we are. Just took a sell. 2760.3. I wanted it up here. It came up a little bit to the line. I wanted right off the line. I think there's volume to bring us down, and if there isn't, we're going to get a closure. We're 8 minutes away from the hourly. I'm sorry, from the 15. So I believe we will get there, and I will also take another sell right here. Just took a sell right there. Alright. Lock in. Doesn't want to break it on the 15. It's tried numerous times, chat. So what I'm going to do here right now. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how this pulls back. We might have another position here. So it's not letting me. I'm gonna close full right there. I closed that break even. I'm gonna wait for this to. Actually, I'm gonna close that -4, but a pip loss. I'm waiting on. I'm gonna wait. I wanted this to drive through on that initial pop once we got to these candle lows right here, but it didn't pop. It came right back up. So I'm gonna wait for this to create this bottom wick. I closed that break even here. I'm gonna wait for this to create this bottom wick, and as it creates it, we're gonna get in it. Okay, boom. That bottom wick was just created. I'm going to take a sell right here. All right, right as we pop back up. So not much of a difference, but I wanted that bottom wick to be created. So I took a sell right as it pulled back up. On my broker, we broke all the lows, which is kind of weird. It broke this low. So I would expect it to pop down. We've created a lower low. I would expect to pop down. It's strange. I don't understand. The broker, my 4-hour closes at a different time, and this should be a centralized price. It should be identical. And it looks like it's broke. If you stretch out the chart, it looks like it broke that low on the broker. Hey, I'm gonna... If I could get my mouse to move, I'm going to take a sell as well, but it's not letting me. There we go. Just took another sell, 27,614, 615. No top wick on this 5. Bottom wick created on the previous 5. Taking a sell right here, chat. 27.63.5. And 2765.23 will be the next entry if we get there. Which if we close like this in 3 minutes, we might. Held support here. Held support on a smaller time frame. next possible entry is 60, 65 too here. Minutes here. Oh, under 2 minutes here for the 15. We need a 15 bearish candle. And there's a support here on the 30 and a support here on the 15. There's a chance we start coming up here. That's why we need a 15 closure. If the 15 starts flipping, starts driving, we might have early closures, and we might be here for our first loss in 2 months. 3 months, 2 months. It'll really depend on how we start closing on the hourly. 1 minute for the 15. A lot depends on closures. We close, we continue closing bearish, we should be fine. If we start flipping and closing bullish, we might be managing risk, but we'll see. The big key here is really the hourly and the hourly bearish closure. But in order to get there, we're going to need the 15 to not hold the most recent level. Alright, so the 15 held bearish, which means I'm going to take a sell right here. Just took a sell right as we closed on the 15. Close below this area. And taking a sell right here. Off the 15 top wick. So if we continue up and the hourly starts closing bullish, I will look to manage risk off the hourly closure. But 15's bearish, 30 just flipped, the hourly still bearish, and I'm waiting for that to refill. I don't like this rejection. I don't think we're that far ahead in the trade. I think this is a 50-50 area now. This is a 50-50 area based on the higher time frame rejecting. Broke that high, I would expect a pop. I would expect a pop, but the hourly's still bearish, and there's 12 minutes on the hourly. The hourly starts closing strong bullish, then we have issues. But until then, I'm kind of obligated to wait. But we broke the highs here, so you would expect this to pop up. There's a lot of time in this. There's the pop. Four hours still bearish, hourly bearish. Yeah, it's coming up, but if the hourly closes bullish, it's a leg candle. I gotta wait 10 minutes here. It's ugly, but you have to. I gotta wait for a closure. Nothing I can do. Just because the hourly flips bullish doesn't mean it's the drive, but you know, you're heading up. You had the 30 flip, you know how the time frames flow into each other. And if you're in doubt, zoom out, but the 4 hour is still bearish. Next 4 hours starts in 9 minutes. It's going to need a bottom wick. But how steep will the top wick be? It makes sense to come up. It just, ideally, it would make sense to come up here, but it doesn't make sense for it to break 4 hour highs, which still leaves us ahead on the 4 hour. Let's see how the hourly closes. Let's see what the 4 hour closure brings. Yeah, the way it rejected here, I would expect it to fill the range up until 27.77. But I need a 4 hour closure. There's range here to the left. Ugly. Yeah, 5 closed above the most recent here. 7 minutes for a decision. How will this 4-hour close? I don't have any extra positions here. I need a 4-hour closure to have another pineapple. I need to have a bearish 4-hour closure to be able to look for a pineapple. This could be short-lived, chat. We need this bearish 4-hour closure. I didn't have, yeah, pineapple here looks good now, but timing-wise, we want one at the 4-hour closure. This is tough. It's a minor time frame head and shoulder area. It's 3 minutes of this 15. This is a strong support on a smaller time. Not a strong support, but a smaller time frame. We drove up from here before, drove up heavy. So, but we just had a drive from that area. Let's see. Alright, gang, I'm closing full right there at break even. Just closed at B here. Fuck this trade, man. Oh, that was a shitty trade. That was literally a shitty trade. This trade had me worried here for a second. Chat, I'm not done trading. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on 30 seconds here because I believe we can see a top wick. And if we see a top wick, it was a shitty trade. It was good management, but it was a shitty entry. I should have waited for this to clearly break. This wick here, remember I said we're gonna, once we break this and push through, we should clearly break. On my broker, when I say it broke, I was looking at this wick right here. I was looking on 30-minute time frame at this wick, and we did break that wick. We didn't break this wick. And I'm just... It was a misentry, but it was great management. Don't miss your next move. It didn't set up yet. It was really good. It was really good management. It was a shitty entry because we should have had. We needed this level right here, this wick, to be broken. And I even said it at the time. Once we break that wick and pull back, and then I look at my broker, and we did break that wick, but on my broker, I was looking at this wick. I'm like, fuck. This needed to break. Yeah. Well, I'm really glad I got out of that. Wow. Ten positions. 10 positions. Yeah, no, I closed at minus $120. Wait, who wrote that? It used to say who writes shit. Now I don't see it. Who wrote that? Oh, it's Toby. How did my XAU USD people lost for you, Jay? Why? How much? You should have been within 10 pips. Plus minus 10 pips. If you held the sell. Oh, you closed it when we were coming up? Ah. Spot and futures too big of a difference? Really? Maybe. Maybe. Your ego said hold, still got 18 pips. I don't know. I just, from what I see from here and here, they moved very similarly, right? It just depends where the price was here, I guess, on spot gold, right? Depends where price was on spot gold when you took the entry. It might not have gotten to the pineapple area where I took it, or it might have gotten there already, right? This sometimes, remember, sometimes this prints a little before, a little after, right? But I'll take my $120 loss, which is 6 pips, but I'm counting, that's break even. We usually go 5 pips plus minus, but with 10 positions plus minus, we usually go plus minus 5 pips is break even. But I lost 6 pips on that. I'm not counting that as a loss. That's a BE for me. I noticed the difference is sort of big, but I realized that the moves either happen first on spot or on futures and vice versa, which is why I held on spot when wicks closed. Yeah, it makes sense. If it didn't get there, if it didn't get to your BE or didn't get to your support, I didn't wait for it to get to my BE. I just waited for a 5-minute level. I didn't quite get to my BE. I closed as soon as we were tapping levels. And these are strong areas over here. See this candle close, no top, no bottom wick. So once we started tapping these areas, I said there's no chance that I'm letting the market pull back on me after it gave me a chance to get out. Right? And it held at the end of it all, at the end of that drive, it still held this support. But I will concede this was a shit entry, the first entry. We're in major consolidation. Yes, but that doesn't mean you can't play it. But we shouldn't have been there to begin with. This needed to clearly break over here. Can you get in a trade too early? Yeah, we got in it too early. We waited, and then I saw it break the wicks. So I was like, all right, this is perfect. It broke that wicks, but it was this wick we needed to zone in on. Sizes are too much in this week. Oh, here's the deal, right? The ranges are massive. This is a 130 pip range, right? 130 pips here. So if you're going to go into drawdown, you can have drawdown up until the top of the range, right? The entire range. But my analysis is just based on the 4 hour. If the 4 hour flips, it's a leg candle. Highly likely the next 4 hour makes a top wick, goes down. If the hourly closes the way it was, it's a leg candle and the 4 hour still bearish, right? So we're ahead on the higher time frame. And what do I always say? When in doubt, zoom out. So until we were behind, but when we start breaking these highs and start pulling here and breaking, and we also had a closure over there on the 15, I'm sorry, on the 5. It closed above this area, right? So as you break that high and as you close above here, the probability of you coming back down goes down. Even though you're still ahead on the higher time frame, the probability has just gone down. Once this closes back in range, probability back up. I can't take a pineapple. There's 5 minutes to the 4 hour close, right? 4 hour closed over here. And we had no bottom wick. So you have to let this play out. There's no pineapple there. Right? Pineapple was already here as we were pulling back up. Or right here as we were pulling up. Over here, I got to wait for that 4 hour close. So maybe if we had another pineapple here, we would have walked out with a lovely win. But it just didn't make sense to take a pineapple there. It made sense to wait 5 minutes for the 4 hour closure and get that top wick, right? The 4 hour closure and get the top wick. But this 4 hour drove straight down, no top wick. I closed. Yeah, honestly, these are the streams we learned from a lot, and I learned from these streams as well. Like these trades is what makes my next entry and makes my... Is that the pool guy? Yo! Hold on, chat. Yo, if you find a joint, just light it. I'm gonna be right there. All right. He's mad funny. Lesson here. This has to break. Number one, next time we're in this position, I will remind you of what happened today. Next time we're taking that entry, I will remind you that this is the reason we're going to wait for this wick to break. Right? Because we just sat through unnecessary drawdown. Really unnecessary. This needed to break. These entries is what I was saying. These entries is what makes me a better trader. I see where the mistake was, right? I'm not perfect either, chat, but I've realized the difference between, I've said this before, the difference between a break-even stage and remaining profitable is really your risk management. And this could have been a massive loss had this been 2 years ago and I didn't know how to manage risk. That was essentially what others might call an impulse entry. There was no confirmation of such trade. Well, there is a confirmation for me. If this breaks that low, our entry was perfect, right? It bounced. It was off a resistance where we've come down from before, right here. These closures, but it needed to break that low because until then it was holding it. I think the position was fine if you had held. It was a W if we held. It wasn't W by much, but it was a W. The point is, it's not... Okay. How do I put this? Do you want to be stuck in drawdown according to plan or not according to plan, right? When you're stuck in drawdown, but the trade was according to plan, you can manage it according to that same plan, right? Now we're stuck in drawdown because I know how it plays out if we're in there according to plan. When I saw that we never broke that wick, this isn't according to plan. This isn't how that entry should have been. This isn't what should have happened. That low should have, it needed to break. That wick over here to the left needed to break. Right, so when I'm in drawdown according to plan, I know exactly how to manage risk. If it's an impulse entry and I'm doing it not according to plan, then you know, it kind of sucks. This isn't what we planned for. I got to manage risk on the fly. Doing not what I planned for. So there's a difference, right? That wasn't a position I would want to be in. And I don't want to say, I don't know if it's unfortunate that we got stuck in it or fortunate, because like there's a lesson in there, right? There's a, besides the risk management and how we manage risk, and besides realizing that you need to, you know, no matter what the small time frames are telling you, you at the end of the day, you know, the beginning of the day, forget the end of the day, this is the beginning of the day, but in the grand scheme of things, the higher time frames are going to have more effect on the charts than the smaller ones, right? So when in doubt, once again, zoom out and make sure you're managing risk according to the higher time frame. How much percent was that 170K loss? A little over 10%. When I took 170K loss, my account was at 1.1. 1.11, something like that. It dropped to 930. I remember that. I remember I had to rebuild it from 930. On spot, it broke that wick. No, on futures, it didn't. And I got to trade based off the chart I'm looking at. I'm not done yet. Like we get these bearish pushes, we'll look for more sells, but it just wasn't time yet, I guess. $930 was still lots of profit. Yeah, that account started with 40,000. When we're up here in 10 positions in drawdown, you tell me I'm going to close out for minus $120. I'll take that in a split second. It wasn't a position we should have been in. Missed the trade, but had a recap. Yep. What's your current account size? Almost 70K. Close to 70K. Can you look at the spot price and tell if you trade that you might be looking for sells now after this 15 close? If I'm not looking for it here, I probably wouldn't be looking for it on spot. On spot price, you gotta break this wick low right here. Fuck. Right there. That's the low. You gotta break that wick, which also coincides with the wick low that you just previously made. So you gotta break these lows. You gotta have a really strong push down, a closure, a bottom wick left, and then I'll look for positions. Right. So there's a few things that still need to happen. You gotta wait another 12 minutes here on spot. And let's see if that's what's happening here. Yeah, maybe we'll break all the lows now, but we gotta wait. I gotta wait. Do I know time to eat? Yeah, Nick? I know Nick. Yeah. We talk. Update session trades? I will in a sec. I want to see what this does. What's your honest, unbiased opinion on Trump having? I'm glad he did. I'm glad he left the Paris Climate Accord. I'm glad he left the World Health Organization. If you haven't noticed, we are the biggest contributor, right? We're the biggest sponsor of those organizations, while needing them the least out of every country in those organizations, right? For some reason, we give the most money and we put the most regulations on ourselves, right? And everyone's like, all right, good for us. Right? America first. And if every other country did that for themselves as well, right? Be a, be a really happy world we live in. He said it. He said we're going to put America first. So it's good if you're an American. It sucks if you're somewhere else. We're trading here, right? We're all traders, right? It's good for us. This brings volume to the markets. Just try to realize what it does for you. Market gave you a chance to get out. Hope you took that chance. Later, Toby. Later. That's right, Jeff. Jaga. Can't let drawdown play with your emotions, even though that's the nature of drawdown, right? It really depends on your relationship with money, right? And your risk management. How much emotion is it going to drive out of you, right? Because once you start thinking emotionally and not logically, the market has beat you. It won. It has led you to not think clearly, and now it's ahead, right? So don't look at the numbers, right? You're still ahead probability wise, even though you're behind money wise in that position until the 4 hour starts closing bullish. If that hasn't happened yet, yeah, you might have a loss, but you have to be logical about where you are in the market, and you're still ahead based on the higher time frame. But I will concede this was a bad entry, probably entry wise the worst entry in the last 2 months, or honestly the first misread entry in the last 2 months. We haven't had that since we've had drawdown since November 27th, but it was always according to plan. It was always in a position that we wanted to be in. This was the first time in a few months that, as we started printing, this wasn't a position I wanted to be in. We never broke this wick low here. This is where your risk management skills then come into play. Remember when we used to get tagged in on spread and buy stops on B and drawdown and trades we didn't want to be in? Yeah. And buy stops and being trades, being drawdown trades we didn't want to be in? Yeah. But we've made adjustments, right? Those were all lessons, right? After all of those, we've always made adjustments. There's a reason, right? There's a reason we've been on massive winning streaks. Because of all those adjustments, because of all those positions, because of all those times being in drawdown, right? In a position you shouldn't have been in. Being in drawdown in position you always take, right? That's how you learn. You have to go through it in order to learn. Otherwise, it's not going to stick in your head. I bet you next time you're in this position, it's going to stick in your head because you went through it before, right? You have something to base your experience on. You have precedent. Tempted to take a pineapple at the top at 9:45. Me too. The issue was timing. The issue was we were coming to a close on a 4-hour candle. I said, what's the point of the pineapple here when the next 4-hour candle is likely to give a top wick before a drive, right? But we never got it. Just drove down before the close. So I know there was a good 200 people in here sitting like, hell yeah, this motherfucker's gonna lose. Hold on, let me clip this shit. Let me timestamp this motherfucker. The people were already fucking clipping shit up to post. I'm sorry, haters. Yeah, it looked juicy. It did. It looked good over there. There was a good level to take a pineapple. Just needed it off the 4-hour. They had you working hard. You know what? I did not look at chat a single time. I told you guys, I try not to look at chat when I'm in a trade because I don't want it to sway what I'm doing or my opinion or my view. God forbid somebody says, like, oh, well, we've had this closure and I bottom wicks. I'm in sells here. And like, I don't want shit to fuck around with my mindset, right? So I try not to look at chat when I'm in a position, but outside the position, yeah. So I have no idea what went on, but I'm sure as we were in drawdown over here at like 50 pips, right, on the original position, people were losing their motherfucking mind. No, what am I saying? We were in drawdown here for like 80 pips on the original position. If you're trading micros on futures, I wouldn't suggest you start with anything less than 1,000, maybe even 1,500. All right. If you're looking at trading like one micro, then I'd say get it to 1,500. Get your deposit or your balance to 1,500. So what a good amount when you're profitable to deposit to grow nicely. I told you I dropped 50K into my futures. I don't know what good is. I can tell you what I did or what I do. I put 50K into this futures account second to last week of December. or maybe the last week of December. I think around the 20th, 22nd, something like that, somewhere around there. So it's actually been a month. So it's I think this week is a month since I did that. Since it's a month. I think this week is a month since I've switched over to futures. It was around this time last month. I gotta go back. I gotta see when my conversation with Eddie was, because that was the day I was doing it. Your max risk is 10% overall for the account, right? So if we took a loss on this trade, that would have been around 10%. With all those pineappled out, and if that 4-hour flip, it would have been roughly 10%. Managed to get out of drawdown with pineapples? You didn't manage to get out of drawdown with pineapples. You just managed your position. Right? Disgusting 30-minute closure. I concur. But we've held again. It's holding support, holding resistance. I don't know why it's disgusting for you, Hank. You should be buys here, sells here, buys here, sells here. Isn't that your thing? You're a range trader. Or you're looking for like a 5 or 15-minute range. Can you calculate and tell me what is the market? Bro, Google that. That's simple. Just ask ChatGPT. It'll give you an answer. When would you have closed? Let's say candles would still be going up. What would be the trigger to close off? It wouldn't have been trigger to close off in a loss. The trigger to close would have been if that 4-hour flipped and closed bullish with a top wick. Right, look at the 4-hour. If right here, the 4 hours never flipped. The hourly flipped bullish, but we said if the hourly flips bullish and the 4-hour closes bearish, that means the hourly will close as a leg candle, which means we're still going to come down. Right? But if the 4-hour closed bullish and left the top wick up here, we would be waiting for the next candle to open, and as soon as the next candle opens, if it gives the top wick first, we're still in there. If it came down first, we would be looking at a support, and we would close at a support. Understanding that we're closing in a loss. Right? If it did all of that. But it gave us pineapples, it held the hourly, it held the 4-hour, and no harm, no foul. You won't always get the best entries. That's why management is key. Absolutely. Couldn't you get a broker that trades spot gold or wanted to move to futures? No, I couldn't get a broker that would accept US clients and have MT5. There's a big reason. That's the reason why I went with AMP futures, because they had MT5. It just made things very simple. Made the transition much easier. Look at spot gold. Yeah. But it's still, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it still did the same thing, right? It still held support here, came back up and closed, which probably is, you probably had a fake out here on the 15. Yeah, you see you had a fake out, exactly. Right? You had the closure below, and then you closed right back into range. So that's a fake out, right? And yeah, I'm still not convinced we're gonna drive up here. It's not pretty. This is just noise. It's not that it's doing what it shouldn't do or you're missing an entry. This is just noise based on what we do. Like there's no setup here. Yeah, you could say, all right, we made a bottom wick, held support. Now on the flip, you could look for entry. Yeah, but the drive down here was really the higher time frame drive down was stronger than the smaller time frame push up. And look, you also, so first of all, we know wicks are ranges, right? So this whole shit right here is a range. All these wicks right here, this is all just a range that we're bouncing in. Massive range. Number two, we also created a lower low, and there's a lower high here, lower low. So for now, we're keeping with structure until we start breaking these highs. Right? For now, we're keeping with bearish structure until we start breaking those highs. So if we're keeping with structure till we're breaking those highs, probability-wise, you're still likelier to come down than to come up. But that doesn't mean there's sells set up here, right? Doesn't mean there's buys set up. This is all just noise. This is all of this is nothing more than, there's nothing more than 70-30 probabilities here, which means it's all 50-50. Anything less than 80-20 in your direction is a 50-50. Approach it like that. Love trading. I managed to get out BE. Now this motherfucker trying to, market gave you a chance to get out. You were no longer in the position you planned for. The market gave you a chance to get out. Get out. Right? You walk into a haunted house and some shit goes, get out. You fucking leave, right? You turn the fuck around and walk right out the damn door. Same thing here. This is the haunted range. If this haunted range over here told you, get out, get your ass out, wait for a better range. Where's your buying area? I have nothing here. I'm waiting on the market to volumize. Volumize. Closures outside the range would be the indication of volume that I'm looking for. Sorry, we're on spot gold. Let's go back to our chart. Not an easy day to trade. Not an easy day to trade. You're just stuck in a range. Higher time frame range and smaller time frame range. Wicks every direction. Multiple attempts to drive out the range. Okay, because at some point, at one point today, right, this candle looked like this. At some point today, this candle looked like this, right? It attempted to lead and couldn't. How do you enjoy futures so far? Undefeated, never lost. This break even that we just had for -6 combined pips among 10 positions, that's the worst result so far that I've had on futures. Jay, how did you do overall? How did you close overall?
I'm in a big loss. Once you closed, I waited for a sec for it to come back down and came back up, and I just closed there. So I was off by 10 pips, and that was a lot because I had a few positions like you. And then it just came all the way back down, and I never held. Last time I didn't do it, and I got clapped when I didn't close when you closed. This time I said, all right, I'll follow. And
Was it at the same price point on spot gold?
just about as soon as the, let me just go back to where it was. As soon as the hour opened.
Oh,
Or just before.
You closed over here.
Yeah, just before, just after the hour opened, like a few seconds. That's what it was. I saw.
So but you did. Then you had to see profit. Then you took every single position, right? If you waited.
No, I did not.
You didn't take every position, right?
I did not. No, I over leveraged. So when we were at the top, I wanted to take another position. I didn't. And I didn't take the second to last position either.
So you didn't take the best two entries.
No, I took the.
You took the pineapples up until the last two entries.
No, until the last entry. Just the last entry, I didn't take it. So you took the last entry, which is around 55 on spot. I didn't take that one. But the problem was I took the second to last entry at the same position as the third last entry, which is a problem. So I got in at the same time because I wanted to get in a little bit higher. And once I got in, it dropped down. And I got in at the same position. I said, all right, we'll see what happens. And that didn't help.
You had two entries in the same spot? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Yeah.
And the
so
other
you had
one,
two separate
about
pineapples
8.
when I took them at different places. You ended up, by the time you clicked it, it came back to the same spot. I get it.
Correct. And the one before that was like 8 pip difference, and I didn't even have 10 pips there. So it just moved so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a big difference when that pineapple. Well, you're missing one pineapple, and then the second pineapple is just in the spot is basically one of those pineapples is a double position.
Yeah, I wanted to reclose it and then reopen it. I told myself, you know what, if it comes back down. So then I left it, and then that hurt me a lot because I wanted to get back in at 57, and I was over leveraged, so I couldn't anymore. I had taken way too many pineapples prior to that. So by the time that I closed, the closest I was maybe 15 pips in drawdown, and that's when
15
you were.
15 pips in drawdown, and that's without those without that best pineapple. That's not bad, actually, honestly. But
yeah, I would have been in profit actually by the time that you closed if I had gotten that pineapple up there. And
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to describe. If you guys took every single position that I did, there shouldn't be big losses. Like I'm okay with seeing maybe a plus minus 10, 15 pips, because on 10 positions, right? Like as we said before, if we move a pip or two, right? One pip differences can be 10 pips. 2 pips. If I close and market just, it's moving up and down 2 pips, okay. So within 10 to 20 pips difference, funny. But if you're like 70 or 50 pips off from where I am, then I'm trying to figure out why such a big discrepancy if you're doing everything I did.
Yeah, no, all my positions were at a loss, all of them. So it's on me to over leverage, but as soon as I saw it break, I told myself that was a good sell as well, but I guess we both saw it differently. So that's when I went in as well, and I have and I took my pineapple way earlier than I would have normally. I would have normally taken it at 30 pips, and I took 3 pineapples before 30 pips. That's just stupid to me.
Yeah, it's not even before 30 pips, but it's just it's tough getting a pineapple at the same spot where you already have an entry, unless the market is already set up again for another pineapple. So let's say we had a closure on the 4-hour, right? It came down. Let's say the wave of the 4-hour closed for us, right? Look how the 4-hour closed. So if we didn't form that bottom wick first, we already had pineapples up here, right? So if we didn't form this bottom wick first on this current 4-hour and we started coming up first, I would have taken entries based right at the same entries we had the first pineapple or the second or the third pineapples in here. I would have taken them again at that same entry if it's set up again, right? So I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with taking that same entry as we're still ranging around that price point. You get an entry and then it looks like it's coming up and then you take the entry, but it pumps down right to the same price point. I probably would have closed that pineapple and waited for it to pull back up so I can have them at different levels, not over leverage at a specific level.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, once it never broke the 1 hour, it never flipped. It was close to it by I think 10 pips. Once it never did, I was looking at getting back in again. And by the time that happened, it wasn't coming down straight down. It was creating structure that way, which is it's still a good thing, but I wasn't sure. So once you did close that, I was like, damn, am I seeing something wrong? All right, fuck it. And then I was about to close and it just pops up and I was like, come on. And it was just where the hour was going to change with 4 hour on your end. And then I said, screw it. And I closed and big drawdown. And then the next candle, it just dropped. And I was like,
I think
no.
if I was in your shoes, and you heard me close, I'm going to spot gold and I'm looking at the 4 hour. I'm looking at the hourly. I'm looking to see how that closure is gonna happen. Because remember I said next hourly candle is gonna need a bottom wick. Whether it's gonna be a bottom wick to drive up or it's gonna be the drive down, it's gonna need price to come down a bit from wherever it closes. So I would have either waited for a top wick to be made or a closure, a bullish closure. Let's say the top wick is never made, but a bottom wick is never made, but we start getting bullish closures. Okay, but if you understand this, it's got to make a bottom wick, and at least probably to this area, to this wick. That's where the lowest common denominator is, right? Between the candles here, between these wicks, would be this one, right? Because every single one of these wicks has gone through there. So this candle, at the very least, to that area. Once you close here,
that was.
So once you see this closure is in your favor, right? Let it make a top wick come down, or if it comes down, makes that bottom wick first, you're looking for this area to start closing out.
That would have been actually my first entry, close to my first entry, without the pineapple, just normal first entry. I was hoping for that, bro. I'd be in profit, maybe 150 bits by then, if I had held all that. But yeah, I kind of panicked when I heard you.
This is lessons for next time. Lessons for next time. You're still closing ahead. No reason for you to close and draw down here. You're still closing ahead.
I panicked, to be honest with you, once I heard you close VE, and I was like, oh, you didn't even wait for it. Let me see. Then I was looking, oh my God, the hour was closing at the same time. I saw it go up. I was like, just whatever. A lot of times we're seeing, no bottom wick, no top wick.
In the grand scheme of things, if you're following to the T, I think it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, there's might be discrepancies, but I'll take the 15 pip loss, the 20 pip loss, right? Knowing that that's just a regular trade. We usually see more than that in a trade anyway.
Yeah, I closed at 54.40, and I think you closed around. The loss there. I think you would have closed. I think you closed approximately like 54 if we're looking at XAU. So I was hoping for it to come back down. If it would have come back down just 10 pips, I would have been in profit at 53. But it went up first, and I was like, top wick or no? It's the hour. I'm not sure. It's too powerful. Let me just close it and then take the next position. And then when I saw it come back down, bro, I was so annoyed. I told myself it's my mistake again.
What was the total loss for you?
Dollar wise or
no,
pip wise?
Pip wise.
1 second. $167.33.
160 pips.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're all at a loss. All of them. So that's why, because so many were at the same entry, same pineapples as other pineapple entries, which is what screwed me over.
Yeah, you over leveraged at a level.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely did. If it had come back down to 53, I would be in profit because most of my pineapples are there. So I would be in profit for sure. So that definitely screwed me over big time. It's on me. I mean,
I just want to know why and how. I want to understand what's going on in the minds of people that are following me. It helps me make adjustments too.
yeah, obviously, sometimes when you're in profit, we're not. Even if we take the same entries, because the charts are a little different on futures than on spot.
But a lot of people that are doing futures in the YouTube, a lot of people did better than me, because if you had a 5-second delay, most of your entries were better than my entries as it was coming up, right?
Oh yeah.
And then on the drive down, the closure, if you waited an extra 5 seconds, it would drop down even further. So I think if you were following me through YouTube, you had better entries and a better closure.
I'd rather obviously pay for the signals and get the live.
Oh yeah. No, get it live at the same time. I think if all entries were done at exactly the same time, exact price points, I don't think you're taking a big loss there. I think you're taking either small loss or profits.
And my spread is different than yours. You're at 1 pip. Mine varies 1.7 to 2, 1.5 to 2.
I got one.
Sometimes very rarely 2.5. So that obviously adds on to everything else. No, man, it's breaking.
Your last position was the only one was in profits, about 10 pips? No. I had 3 positions in profits. Well, I can't tell. I have a combined total that I see. I see a combined total sell of 10 contracts for minus $120. When you calling it a day? We've been ranging all day, so maybe this breaks out late. I don't know. We will see. I'm still here. Maybe 11:30, 11:15. We got 7 minutes for this hourly to close. We want this to push up and leave a top wick. What we're going to do is play the relationship of the current candle and the next candle, as long as this candle leaves us range. Top wick to fill. Okay? So for the next 10 minutes, I'm still locked in. Next 15 minutes, I'm still locked in, because I need to see this closure. I'm going to see the opening of the next candle. And if we're still stuck in a range and we don't have wicks, then we will call it. I meant your last position, what you took. I took on spot gold, and that was the only one in profit. So yeah, spot gold probably moved a bit different. Set to close it off at a bullish candle wick to J. Why not at the bearish candle wick? So let's go back to the hourly. Let's go back to spot gold. You're talking about the wick right there, right? And bullish candle wick or bearish candle wick, irrelevant. It's the extent of the range. And I was just saying the lowest common denominator between all of these candles, right? Which area did all of them hit? And all of them went to at least here, right? So you're not looking maybe for the whole wick fill down here. What is that? An extra 30 pips, right? You're looking for just this area that you see all of them hit. That's the lowest common denominator. So at least until there, you're probably good. You're highly likely to hit. See, it held here. It went past it, but it held. So it didn't really matter bullish or bearish. That's just the extent of the range. In this case, does it not matter that the range to the upside got filled? Well, that's why I said I want to push here, right? This is what we want right here. There's some time left. We want to push outside the range. I don't think it looks like this on futures. No. Excuse me. But if it leaves a long wick closed back in the range, we still taking it depending on where it closes. If it closes right at the level, no. If it pulls back and I got some range to here, then yeah. If we wick off this level, maybe not. If we pull up and the wick is above this level, right? If we break these wicks to the left, but we get the closure below, as long as it doesn't close right at the level and I have some room, I have some range to refill it, I'll take it. Right, if we get a closure like this, I'm probably gonna wait. If we get a closure like this, I would probably wait for that bottom wick and take it off the bottom wick to fill up the range, because you have an advantage point to the flip, to here, and to the rest of the candle. But you don't want the closure over here, right at it. That leaves you really no range, even if this does this. Everyone's fucked up today, my girl? I don't think so. We weren't in a great position earlier, but we did really well. All things considered. October 29th on the 1 hour. This right here? Oh, 29th. Where's the 29th? Right here, this. Yeah, we've come down. Look, we've held the support again. So, what are we doing? Are we emulating this candle now? Looks like it. One minute. As you can tell, still side by side. How come you're at 71? I'm at 71, you're on 60, you're on spot gold, I'm on gold futures. Haven't liked any trades today, saving my troops for another battle, that's right. Show up to the next fight with a bigger army. Beautiful, it's a good concept. This is ugly. We're at resistance, we don't have a top wick, not much range. That is an ugly closure in terms of positions. In terms of positions setting up anytime soon. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's ugly. It could create a bottom wick come up, but as of right now, there's no positions. If this starts pushing up heavy and then creating more range, great. If it pushes up and then breaks back down, you need range to breakouts. You need to break 60 areas for sells. How did you get GC1 chart to the thousands place? First of all, you can do that in the options, but it's not. You see, it's my levels, so you can tell they're not to the thousands. They're to the tens. Like, if you look at the numbers, the only numbers to the thousands is my lines because they're not exactly at these levels. So when you place a line, it's not going to move it up or down to be exactly at that, you know, at the tens level. It goes to the hundreds, to the thousands. But that's only for the lines, not for price. When you enter, the price still enters at the tens level. But you can adjust that. I know I did it in the settings to read all the way to the thousands. You can't, like, let's say I stretch the chart. Look, in between here and, you know, and here, there's a lot of room. I mean, it's not going to go exactly on to the tens. You know what I mean? Look. Yeah, that's ugly. Ugly closure. I think we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna be on the charts for another hour, probably till 12. We've ranged through the morning, so I think I'm gonna look at the charts for another hour because I think if we break out, it's gonna be a heavy breakout. I think if we actually do break out today, whether now or later in the day, I think it'll be a heavy push. We've ranged pretty heavily, right? And usually, you know, the heavier the range, the heavier the breakout. I'm very happy with the way we managed that. Very happy. Like, there's tons of lessons from the stream. There's tons of lessons just from the trade, just from the drawdown trade. I don't know about you guys. For me, there was value in it for me, and the adjustments that need to or don't need to be made. There's value in that risk management. I'm very happy with the way that session went and the trade went. Right? You're not looking to be wealthy off the result of this trade, but the value behind it is it's irreplaceable. Yeah, gang, we need to get out of this range. If this is a bottom wick for us to drive up hard here, great. I'll look for positions outside the range. So if you're in the signal channel, I'm going to be looking at the charts for at least the next hour until noon, but I'll let you guys know to lock in if I'm actually locking in on a position. It's not. I'm not just going to take it randomly. I'll let you guys know. But I'm going to call it a session here because it's going to take some more candles to print for us to set up. Okay, gang? All right. Let's call it here. The streak's intact. But that's not the key here. The key today was the knowledge and the value behind our risk management. Not keeping the streak alive. That's just the byproduct of what we're doing. Okay, Zoom gang, I'll see you on the Clubhouse side of things. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. Appreciate you guys as always. 20 pips on a day, not a lot, but 19, not a lot, but still a W. I know we're used to a lot more, but we can't control what the market gives us. We can only react to it, and today the market has ranged. All right. signal channel. Pay attention. We might have positions within the next hour. If not, then I'll be looking for signals. I'll be looking to send out signals in the Asian session. All right, chat. Love and wisdom to you all. Appreciate you guys for spending another few hours with me, another morning with me, another New York session with me. And I hope you were able to help yourself and find some value in what we did today. Okay, gang? All right, let's call it. As for me, my time here is up. You already know the deal. Just like that, another New York session is in the books. Enjoy your day, everybody. Later.
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.